Hello everyone, I am Hazel and today I will be discussing again another question that we may ask. Since we have been talking about the elements, the standards of the novel, we have now to answer the question, does Yann Martell deserve the Booker Prize for Fiction? So to answer this question, we will be answering this in accordingly with my group mates. I am the first person who will answer it and will be followed by all the members in the group. So again, to answer this question, I will provide answer and divided into two. The first one is objective in objective approach, and the second is in the subjective approach. In objectively speaking, the novel is completely qualified to win such an award. The first standards that I could think of is the publication of the book. The book must be published in United Kingdom and or Ireland, and those that only publish in that place in United Kingdom and Ireland are only accepted to win such an award. And as it was mentioned by the other members of our group, Life of Pi has its United Kingdom version published in the said country that is under the mentioned criteria. So aside from that, the Booker Prize always kept in the criteria of eligibility. One of this is the author of the novel must be alive during that time that it was awarded. And yes, Yann Martell is alive that time, and even today, he is 58 years old as of today. So another qualification is with regards to the publisher. The book must be published by another company and not self-published. And Yann Martell's book was, of course, published under NOP Canada, which Yann Martell is not the owner or even a member, because in the criteria, the publisher in the publisher of the book should not be associated with the publisher or the owner or a member, or even not controlled by the author. And even not self-published. So since the Booker Prize is not vocal in the criteria that utilizes in choosing the awardees, I have only little to discuss in the objective approach. Kaya, subjectively speaking naman, I have gathered my thoughts on the amazement that I have felt when I read the book. One of this is the story's outstanding plot, settings, and other elements of fiction that shocked me and amazed people from different walks of life. And even today, the novel symbolizes ideas that are representing the people. And I think that makes the book appear to be interesting and remarkable to those who will read the story itself. Also, since the author's, as I mentioned, it was the author's writing style and his approach to the reader that is seen to be incredible, and that makes the story deserving of an award as it is. Why? Because the author has its huge contribution on how he sell his book to the people and how well they are received by them. It shows how gentle the author is in the part where even if the novel is spiritually driven, the author doesn't seem to force the readers to believe in such religion. Like for example, the novel is just, like for example, if the novel is the story of a Christian, so parang if you read the book, you should be a Christian. And but no, he did not do that. Instead, he carefully conveyed his deepest conviction without judging on the reader's belief. That even Pi himself look up to those who are atheists. That symbolizes how the author is very gentle in acknowledging all the beliefs, and not only that it was limited to that of Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and such. It is like saying our own belief depend on our own view and belief depend on us. It is up to us kung maniniwala ba tayo sa story na ginawa ni Yann Martell. And that is one of the reason why it is extraordinary story that is thought-provoking, na mapaisip ka talaga, is this true? Kasi as we all know, the story is a book of fiction, but still there are realism in the approach of the author. parang sa unang part and sa middle, sa last. It may be one of the reasons then kung why this book of Yann Martell sold 9 million copies, which makes a lot of sense in the award kasi although yun nga, Booker Prize is not vocal in the criteria that they required for the book that they choose in awarding. We can still see that in according to the previous awardees that the previous awardees of the award, there is one thing that they are in common, or the common denominator is the sales, the incredible plot, the best novel that receives the internationally publicity and increased sale. And so and that is, I think, is somewhat subjective and at the same time objective, because our opinion of the book having an incredible plot, themes, and such actually is backed up by the fact that it received a good review from the book, from the people, because basically the people will not buy the book if it is not incredible or even interesting. Also, to add, having a movie adaptation that with billions of sales internationally signifies how deserving the novel to be awarded as a Booker Prize of Fiction in that years, because producers or directors would not choose the novel to be adapted into the movie industry if they do not believe that it would be a blockbuster. Kasi of course they may ask before adapting it, they parang like, papatok ba to, may manonood kaya, or masasayang ba yung pera namin and such. And in the end of the end of that thoughts, the producer led to producing the movie, because they may have think that people will love it as much as they love the book, because they will not spend millions, specifically 120 million dollars, and it actually nagbunga. Ang naging kita nila is much more than that. Therefore, with all the objective and subjective reasons that I presented, and that support the idea that Yann Martell, as the author of the book Life of Pi, deserves the award in the Booker Prize Fiction, as it has extraordinary plot, themes, characters, and etc. that is then well received by people after it was published. Thank you so much for listening, and this is Hazel signing off.